Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is James Burton from Investment News, and I'm delighted to be hosting today's discussion. Each month here at Investment News, we shine a spotlight on a major issue affecting the wealth management industry. And for January, it's how advisors are harnessing AI for success. So joining me in this discussion, I have leading financial professionals who are itching to share their insights into the tech advancements that are reshaping all of our working lives. So let me introduce them one by one. First of all, Lauren Williams, co-founder of Prosper Plan Wealth. We also have Channing Olson, Chief Operating Officer at Wealthspire. All right, so let's get stuck into it. Like the opening question, we'll kick things off with Lauren, if that's okay. How have you implemented AI in a way that has materially benefited your business?
So we're using AI in the operational sense, meaning that we're utilizing the note takers. We also partner with Wealthbox for our CRM, and Wealthbox is now coming up with AI meeting prep, the note taking, and we're also able to create review materials to send out to clients after each meeting. So we are really finding that the AI tools in this moment are mostly for operational time savings and a little bit of creation.
Have you found the note taking and how does that sort of manifest itself on a day to day?
So the note takers are interesting. I've got two of them. I have Jump AI, which I love, and I have Wealthbox Note Taker. And so when clients come into meetings or on the phone, I just ask them, "Are you okay with me taking some notes automatically?" And then I just go ahead and turn on the recorder. So now it's worked its way into the process where anytime I'm doing a verbal confirmation for a money movement, a wire transfer, I'm turning on that note taker so that I have the actual verbal confirmation listed out, and I pick up that data and just put it right into CRM. And usually that's just done through a one-click button.
All right, interesting. Channing, what about you at your business? So, what are you strategically, what are you implementing with AI?
Yeah. So I think the low hanging fruit is obviously the note takers. And our initial implementation was Copilot because we're primarily a Microsoft shop. And it's just natively there in Teams. So our advisors and support team have really started to use that with clients, and that brings lots of efficiencies. I think it also is changing the way we serve our clients. So advisors are more present in their meetings and can focus in on the actual delivery of advice rather than what notes am I taking? Am I going to be able to follow up on every single action item coming out of this? We have a long roadmap and ideas of how we can leverage Copilot and other AI solutions. But I think that's the very first area that every firm should be looking at.
What about any pushback from advisors? Any skeptics that you've had to overcome, or are people now pretty accepting, Channing, that this is the future?
I think advisors are very convinced that this is an important tool in the toolbox to deliver service at this point. The skeptics we have from a client point of view, that typically shows up from a security perspective. They're worried that we're disclosing all of their financial information into the broader AI ecosphere because that's what's in the news. But we've been able to put together just quick one-sheeters on what security really means and start educating our clients on AI, just the same way that we've educated our advisors. We're making really good headway, such that it's a handful of folks and clients that don't want us to turn on the note taker. It kind of feels like the transformation we all experienced in 2020 when we suddenly went virtual, and there was pushback to go virtual before 2020, but then we got past it. It's the same experience that our advisors are having with clients today on AI.
Channing, from a compliance perspective, I'm interested here. We talk about the checks and balances and, the need for human oversight. When you're implementing whatever it might be, note taking or whatever it is, How do you stay compliant? What do you have to do as a business to make sure that advisors feel secure that way?
Yeah, I think Wealthspire has the benefit of scale as an enterprise. And so we start with a fully baked out security operations protocol. So all of our AI is being analyzed on a regular cadence to make sure that it meets compliance and security protocol. And then I think you really have to leverage training. So, first, having training with your advisors. We've gone office by office and done just general AI training and introduced risk analysis, introduced positive use cases so that we make sure that our team is adopting in a safe way. And I think that we need to do more and more of that. The reality is, if we're not training and allowing the adoption of AI into our enterprise, you're going to have ghost AI. That's the advisor associate that just downloads ChatGPT on his cell phone and doesn't know that it's not compliant or safe to copy and paste the client name into it and ask questions. So we really want to focus in on making sure every single team member has the basic foundational understanding of what AI is and what safe use is.
Yeah, interesting. Laura, similar question to you. I mean, how do you ensure that you and your colleagues are trained up and you're compliant?
So we have a multifaceted approach at different levels in our organization. Over at New Edge Advisors, they're reviewing, they're utilizing, they're doing case studies, they're approving the tools that can be utilized in our ecosystem. Then, as the Prosper Plan team, we're implementing the processes and procedures based on what has already been compliance approved. We are taking it a step further, though, with this new phase of life. And I agree with Channing, it's very reminiscent of going into kind of this Zoom-led working culture that we have now. Social engineering is becoming a larger risk. And when you cannot eliminate a risk in its entirety, you must insure it. And so we have added $25 million of social engineering insurance per incident. We have also gone through the entire New Edge organization, and we underwrote a policy insuring all of our clients against up to $1 million losses per incident in a cyber fraud event. And so we're doing a lot on the compliance side to avoid the risk, but we're also accepting the fact that society is rapidly evolving. And as things change, we have to account for that to keep our clients safe and protected.
Just returning to like the human element here, you asked a sort of direct question to you, Channing. Surely, surely it means less people. I mean, play a bit of devil's advocate here, right? You've got all these tools doing all these things a lot. Lauren talked about manually. Surely, if you're running a business, you don't need that many people. You can save costs that way. Like, is that, is there an element of truth there, or how does that relate to the wealth industry?
Yeah, and I think it also feeds in exactly what Wealthspire is doing with their next level of AI implementation. So I'm on a mission in 2026 to eliminate the double entry. We've partnered and are rolling out an implementation with Jiffy AI, which is going to give me straight through digital onboarding, account opening, and servicing with the 3 primary custodians that we work with. Plugging that into our CRM, our Salesforce platform, plugging directly to the custodians, creating client portal. That comprehensive experience is going to fundamentally change the way that we work with clients, give them a better experience, speed up the time it takes to bring on a new client or open a new account or do a simple move money. It also means that for my client services department, that their day-to-day changes. They no longer need to spend 3 hours checking back and forth between systems, putting information in CRM, then also at the custodians, over communicating to the client and the advisor. And I think that's a great thing. For us, it's not about eliminating staff. It's about getting them to a place where their highest and best use is with the client. And so we're undertaking a comprehensive retraining for our client services department to really make sure each of them is client facing, that they now have time to have comprehensive conversations with the client, either in person in office or on the phone, creating those relationships and that stickiness to the client relationship at every level. We don't need a back office that is only focused on move money in anymore. Technology can do that, and our people can be repurposed to just deliver even more client experience.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Lauren, I'm going to another sort of devil's advocate question. I read a survey recently that said like the efficiencies of AI have been overstated because the time it takes humans to check what comes out is actually like you're not saving that much time. It is a slightly contrarian view given all the hype. But what do you think about that?
Right now, I agree with it, but I think you have to realize we're in a very, and we're in the infantile stage of development of these tools. And we've got the first $1 trillion invested out of the 7 trillion that we're anticipating investing over the next 10 years. This is going to get better. And yes, there will be a point where we trust the data a little bit more. I mean, right now it does take a lot of time. I spend probably more time reviewing my outputs than I would have just writing a standard email or putting together a document. But at the same time, it improves the way that I think. So what AI does for me is it makes concepts very linear. And so I enjoy reading the outputs and double checking the information and seeing where it got things right on or maybe where it was wrong. And I think what that does is it educates me as a financial advisor as to what other clients are seeing when they're going in and researching this information on their own in GPT or any other AI platform. So I think it's important to take that time. We're learning a new skill set. Like as a society, we're learning a new skill set. We should be taking time to learn it and double check.
Yeah, okay. Channing, in 5 years' time, you think we're going to be, sat talking to our AI executive assistant bot running around for us? What do you think is going to happen in our industry?
That might happen in a year. I doubt that
Right.
it takes 5 years. I think, interior design change life cycle is every 7 years. Previously, technology life cycle, you needed to look at your portfolio management and CRM every 4 years, 3 to 4 years, and that was the tech strategy that you would put forth. I think with AI, the reality is the life cycle is every 6 months at this point. And so the future in 5 years is that every individual in our industry actually needs to understand what it is at its core and have some sort of adoption, or they will be left behind. Every organization needs to be continuously improving. What that actually means in 5 years, we're going to have 10 turns before we can really answer that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild, unrecognizable. Lauren, maybe 5 years is a silly question. Might be 6 months. Might be a better question for you. What do you think is going to change?
I went in yesterday and I had a client ask if I had a handbook for their company specifically on the retirement process and what they needed. And I was able to create an entire workbook in Chat GPT in 2 minutes. And then I took it into Adobe and I made a couple changes into the PDF, printed out the PDF. I had a workbook ready to go. And I'm thinking that in 5 years, we're all creators. I mean, we're all creators of our own destiny. Those of us who really adopt, and it's funny, Channing, you were talking about interior design, because I have remodeled the entire exterior of my house with ChatGPT. I hired a contractor to do it, and I'm doing it in this office right now too. So like I've got someone coming to put together a design. And so I think there's no limits over the next 5 years. Like if you can create it and you have the funds to implement it, you're going to be able to have anything you want come to fruition. I mean, with funds being the thing that stops or the thing that propels. But I really feel like this is just a creator's universe now. And it's like how you look at it and how you use it to create is going to be different based on the person. And I want to create a really good client experience. I don't care about volume. Scale isn't my thing. But like, I want to provide really great financial planning to my clients using these tools. And I want to bring it to life visually so they can see their money in the way that I have always seen it in my mind. And so I'm just excited to keep creating, really.
So the message I'm hearing there is pretty limitless there. What could be happening over the next 6 months to 5 years? So, well, it'll be fascinating to find out. Channing, Lauren, thank you so much for joining us today and being part of our monthly Spotlight series. Yeah, thank you. It's been a fascinating discussion.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll see you next time here at Investment News.